It was a quiet night. The sky was dark, full of stars. The moon was big and bright. A soft wind moved through the trees. Jack, a 22-year-old boy, walked alone in the forest near his house. He liked this place. It was peaceful, away from noise. He often came here to think, but tonight felt different. As Jack walked, he heard a strange sound. It was like a soft hum, not from any animal or machine he knew. He stopped. His eyes searched the trees. Then he saw it, a blue light, glowing deep between the trees. "What is that?" he whispered. His heart beat faster. He knew he should go back, but something pulled him forward. Curiosity, fear, excitement. He followed the light, step by step. The trees grew darker, the air colder. The sound became clearer, like music, but not made by any human. Jack moved quietly, careful not to step on dry leaves. He didn't want to be heard. Then, in a small clearing, he saw her. A girl stood there, in the center of the glowing blue light. She was not like any girl Jack had ever seen. Her skin shimmered like silver. Her hair was long, white, and floating slowly in the air, as if she was underwater. Her eyes glowed light purple. She looked at him. Jack froze. She was beautiful, but not human. The girl tilted her head. Her lips moved, but no sound came. Then she stepped closer. The light followed her like a soft bubble. Jack wanted to speak, but his mouth was dry. Finally she said something. Her voice was soft, smooth, not loud. "Human. Your skin looks so soft." Jack blinked. He didn't understand. She took another step. "Let me feel it." Her hand reached out slowly. Jack stepped back. Who are you?" She paused, looking curious. Then she smiled, a small, slow smile. "I am not from here," she said. "I came to study, to understand. But you," she looked at him carefully, "you are different." Jack looked at her silver fingers, still reaching. "Different?" How, he asked. "Your body, your skin, it shines with life. So warm, so soft. I've never felt anything like it before. I want to touch it, taste it, claim it." Jack felt a chill. "Claim it? What do you mean?" She didn't answer. She only moved closer. Now she stood just one step away. Her glowing eyes watched his face. Then she whispered, "Don't be afraid. I won't hurt you. Not unless you want me to." Jack didn't move. He didn't know if he was scared or excited. Her hand touched his cheek, cold but gentle. "I am called Lyria," she said. Jack whispered, "I'm Jack." Lyria smiled again. "Jack, your name feels soft too." Suddenly, the light around her pulsed and she pulled her hand back. She looked up at the sky. "They're searching," she said. Jack followed her eyes. The stars above seemed normal, but she looked worried. "Who is searching?" Jack asked. "My kind. They don't like humans. They don't understand emotions, feelings, touch. They will not be kind to you." Jack's eyes widened. "Are you dangerous?" Lyria looked at him quietly. "I don't want to be," she said, "but I don't know what your touch will do to me." Jack didn't understand, but he felt something had just begun. "Something big. Why me?" he asked. Lyria stepped closer again. "Because you are the first human I've touched, and I want more." Before Jack could say anything, the trees behind them are us. Lyria single quotes, eyes flashed. "They're here." Jack turned, heart racing, but when he looked back at her, she was gone. No sound, no light, only silence. He stood there, alone in the clearing. The stars above kept shining, but Jack knew his life had just changed forever. Jack couldn't sleep. All night, he kept hearing her voice in his mind. "Your skin looks so soft. Let me feel it, taste it, claim it." He sat on his bed, staring at his hand. She had touched it for just 1 second, but he still felt her cold fingers, still saw those glowing purple eyes, still heard the way she whispered his name, Jack, like it was something precious. Who was she? What did she want? The next day Jack went back to the forest. He didn't know why. Maybe to see if she was real. Maybe to see if he was losing his mind. But she was waiting for him this time. She didn't hide. She stood in the same clearing, calm, still, beautiful in a strange alien way. Her skin shimmered under the daylight like soft metal. Her white hair moved even when the wind didn't blow. "You came back," she said. Jack nodded. "You didn't really give me a choice." She tilted her head. "Did I scare you?" "Yes." She smiled. "Good. That means you understand danger." Jack folded his arms. "Why are you here?" "I was sent," she said, stepping closer. "To study life on Earth. To collect samples. Learn emotions. Your people are strange." "Strange how?" She looked at him, really looked. "You cry when you're happy. You touch hands to show love. You kiss. You laugh. You fear death. Yet you enjoy life. My kind doesn't do any of that." Jack frowned. "So what do your kind do?" "We survive. We obey. We forget." She paused. "But I didn't want to forget. I wanted to feel." Jack took a breath. "And now I want more," she said softly. "More of your world. More of you." He took a step back, smiled again. But this time, it was slower, sadder. "I won't hurt you," she said. "I could, but I won't." "That's not comforting," Jack muttered. She moved to a tree and touched the bark. "This tree is alive, but it doesn't feel. Grows. It breathes, but it does not cry. You do. You feel everything. I want to know why." Jack sat on a rock, trying to think, double quotes, so, ... What? You're like a science project. She didn't answer. Instead, she reached into a small metal device on her wrist. A hologram floated in the air. Stars, planets, light paths. That's your galaxy? Jack asked. She nodded. Aurelus, far from here. No color, no song, no touch. When they sent me I was nothing but a sensor. A sensor? She looked at him. I can taste emotions, feel heat, read memories through skin. Jack stood slowly. Is that why you touched me? Yes, but you were ... different when I touched you. It was like fire, loud, bright, almost too much. Jack looked away. So, what now? She walked toward him again, very slowly. I want to understand you more. I want to stay close, learn from you. Jack hesitated. You mean like hang out? She blinked. Hang out? He laughed for the first time. It means spend time together. Hang out, she repeated, her voice quiet. Then her eyes glowed slightly. I would like to do this. Hang out. Very much. Jack shook his head. This is insane. Yes, she said, stepping even closer, and I like it. Then something strange happened. A bird flew nearby and made a sharp noise. Lyria flinched, her body glowing blue for a second. Jack jumped back. Are you okay? She nodded slowly. I do not like sudden sounds. They remind me of alarms, of when we are hunted. Hunted? She didn't answer that. Instead, she whispered, Can I ask something? Sure. She stepped close enough that Jack could feel her cold breath. May I touch your face again? Jack froze. He didn't know what to say. He didn't say anything, and then her fingers brushed his cheek again, slow, careful, soft. Her eyes closed. A soft hum filled the air. She whispered, so warm, so alive. Then she opened her eyes and stepped back. You feel like sunlight. Jack's heart beat fast, but before he could speak, Lyria's device beeped. She looked down, then at the sky, then at him. They found me. Jack's eyes widened. Who? My people. They're coming. If they see me with you, they'll think you're part of it. Part of what? She looked into his eyes. Part of my betrayal. The ground shook faintly. A shadow passed over the trees. Then she said the words Jack would never forget. If you want to live, come with me. Jack never thought his life would change in one night. Now he was hiding in an old bunker deep in the forest with an alien girl beside him. Lyria sat on the cold floor. Her silver skin glowed softly in the dark. Her eyes were half closed. But she wasn't sleeping. She was listening, watching. Outside, something moved through the trees. They're scanning the area, she whispered, looking for my energy trail. Jack held his breath. He could hear the faint buzzing in the sky. Machines, drones, or worse, he whispered. Can they track me too? No, she said, but they can smell fear. Jack looked at her. That's a joke, right? Lyria didn't smile. My kind doesn't joke. Then suddenly buzzing stopped. Lyria touched a small crystal on her wrist. A light flickered. A map appeared in the air. Stars, ships, planets, blinking symbols Jack couldn't understand. What is that? He asked. She pointed to one of the glowing red dots. My world. Aurelus, cold, dark, full of silence. Jack stared. Is it like Earth? She shook her head. No oceans, no forests, no music, just structures, rules, and control. We don't live, we function. Then why did you leave? She looked into his eyes. This time her voice was lower. I heard something. A sound, a feeling, across the stars. Your world called to me. Your people. They touch, they feel. I wanted that. Jack nodded slowly, and now she turned to him. Now I don't want to go back. They sat in silence. Then Jack broke it. Do you have emotions? Lyria was quiet, then said, No, not like you. But I am learning. When I touched your face, I felt something. She paused. It was like fire and water together. Jack smiled a little. That's called confusion. She blinked. I liked it. He leaned against the wall. So you're saying my skin gave you emotions? She nodded. Not just your skin, your voice, your fear, your kindness. It gives color to things I never saw before. Then she looked down at her hand. I want to feel more. Suddenly the bunker lights flickered. The air felt heavy. A low vibration filled the floor. They're close, Lyria said quickly. We need to leave. Jack stood up, heart pounding. Where? Lyria pressed the crystal again. A second map opened. This one of Earth. There is a place on Energy Gate. I can hide there, but I need your help to reach it. Jack looked at her. Why me? Her eyes glowed brighter. Because you are the first human who didn't run from me. She held out her hand. I trust you. Jack hesitated. But then, slowly, he took her hand. It was cold, but for some reason, it didn't feel wrong. As they left the bunker, Jack whispered, What happens if they catch us? Lyria didn't answer. She just said one word. Extinction. Scene break. Inside the alien ship, miles away in a cold, dark chamber, 3 alien figures stood over a glowing screen. Subject: Lyria has made contact with a human, one said. Has she merged yet? The second asked. No, replied the first, but she's showing signs of bonding. The third figure's voice was deep, unacceptable. Human contact will corrupt her biology. A red symbol blinked on the screen. Terminate both. Back in the forest, Jack and Lariah moved quickly. She walked without sound, like a ghost. Jack struggled to keep up. They reached an old, ruined observatory, abandoned, overgrown. Lariah's eyes lit up. This is the place. Inside there was a strange machine hidden under dust and leaves, a circle of metal and crystal. Jack had never seen anything like it. What is this? A gate, Lariah said. It hides what's inside. Protects, warps, signals. They can't find me here. Jack helped her activate it. The crystals lit up in soft blue, humming like a heartbeat. Lariah suddenly looked tired, pale. She sat down, breathing slowly. What's wrong? Jack asked. I need more energy, she said. Human touch recharges me, but I took too much already. Jack knelt beside her. What do I do? She looked at him with a weak smile. You've already done it. Just stay near me. Jack sat beside her. Close. She leaned her head on his shoulder. You're strange, Jack, she whispered. You're even stranger, he replied a moment passed. Quiet then, she said something he didn't expect. If I had a heart, I think it would beat for you. Jack didn't know what to say, but in that silence, something had changed. Not just in Lariah, but in him too. The dream wasn't his. Jack knew that the moment he opened his eyes, he had seen strange lights, cold stars, and Lariah standing in the middle of a dark space, her skin glowing blue, her voice whispering in a language he didn't know when he woke up. He wasn't in his bed. He was still in the observatory, lying beside her. Lariah, the alien girl with silver skin and violet eyes. She was watching him. You shared my dream, she said softly. Jack sat up. My mind touched yours while you slept. It wasn't on purpose. It happened because you're too close now. Too close. She nodded. Our energies are starting to mix. Your biology is affecting mine. Jack looked at his hand. His skin felt warmer than usual, almost buzzing. What does that mean? He asked. It means, she said slowly, I need to test something. She stood up, walked over to him. Her voice dropped lower, gentle like a hum. I need to taste you. Jack blinked. Sorry, what? Not like humans do, she said. Not to eat, to study, to understand, to see what part of you is changing me. Before Jack could respond, she reached out and touched his wrist. Her fingers glowed softly. Then she placed her lips on his skin, not a kiss, more like a sensor scanning a signal. Her eyes fluttered shut. She whispered, heat, emotion, memory. She stepped back. I saw your childhood, a lake, your dog, the day your father left. Jack's eyes widened. You read that from my skin. Lariah nodded. It's how we process. Skin is the gateway, and yours is like a full storm. Jack felt cold. Is that why you're here? To take memories? No, she said quickly. I came to feel, not steal. You gave it freely. That makes it different. He rubbed his arm. So what did you find out? She looked away. Something dangerous. Jack stood. Tell me. You're changing, she said. Your cells are copying mine. Your body is adapting too fast. Jack stepped back. What happens if I keep changing? She met his eyes. You won't be fully human anymore. Silence. Then. A loud crack echoed outside. Both of them turned. Jack whispered. What was that? Lariah's eyes flashed. Not a drone. That was a human. Jack ran to the window. Black vans, soldiers, guns, he gasped. They found us. No, she said. They found me through you. He turned. What? When we connected, you placked a signal. Your fear, your feelings. They tracked it. Lariah ran to the gate. I need to shut this place down. Erase everything. Jack hesitated. And me? What about me? She looked at him, then walked over. You can run. Forget all this. Let them take me. Or what? Or stay and become more than human. The door burst open. Flashlight beams cut through the dust. A soldier yelled, hands up, both of you. Jack's heart raced, but Lariah didn't raise her hands. She looked at Jack. You choose. She whispered, then everything went white. Scene break. Hours later, Jack opened his eyes. He was somewhere else. No guns. No soldiers. Just stars. He sat up. Lariah stood nearby, holding a glowing device. You passed out, she said. I used my shield. We escaped. Jack looked down at his arm. His veins shimmered faintly. Blue. Lariah, what's happening? To me. She walked over, touched his face. You're becoming part of my kind, but your heart is still yours. Jack looked at the stars above, then at her. Is that a good thing? She smiled softly. For me, it's everything. The stars above them were silent, but Earth was screaming. Jack ran through the night, trees slapping his arms, blood pumping like drums in his ears. His breath burned in his throat, but he didn't stop. He sees OULD in single quotes T. Behind him. Helicopters cut the sky. Dogs barked in the dark. Searchlights danced through the forest like angry eyes. Lariah ran beside him, silent, fast, glowing faintly with each step. Her alien skin shimmered under moonlight. Her face was calm. Too calm. We can't outrun them forever. Jack yelled. We're not going to, Lariah replied. Jack frowned. What does that mean? She didn't answer. She only turned and dashed into a hidden path. Pulling Jack with her, they reached a cave, narrow, dark, hidden under hanging vines. Jack followed her inside. Only then did he collapse. He sat against a cold stone wall, trying to catch his breath. His arm still glowed, faintly blue. He looked at her. I'm changing, aren't I? Lariah nodded. Double quotes. Yes, your body is learning me, accepting me. Jack shook his head. That sounds terrifying. Most changes, she said softly. Then she knelt in front of him and placed her hand over his chest. You feel hot, like a storm is growing inside. Jack stared at her hand. What happens when the storm breaks? She looked up. You won't be the same, but you won't be less. You'll be something new. Outside, a distant explosion shook the ground. Dust fell from the cave ceiling. They're closing in, Jack said. Lariah's expression turned sharp. They want you now, she said. Not just me. Jack blinked. Why me? Because you're no longer fully human. You're evidence, proof that humans and my kind can bond. That scares them. Jack felt his heartbeat slow. Not from combat, from something stranger, like his body was rebooting. I feel different. Lariah tilted her head. What do you feel? Jack closed his eyes. I can hear things, heartbeats, electricity, the sound of water underground. Lariah touched his face gently. You're waking up. Your senses are evolving. He opened his eyes. Is this permanent? She pulled her hand back. It's not a sickness, it's a birth. Then something buzzed. Lariah's wrist crystal glowed red. She stood fast. We need to move. They're scanning for life forms. But you said this cave was safe. It was until you started glowing. Jack looked down. His skin just below the surface was starting to shine like hers. What's happening to me? He whispered. You're sinking with me, she said. We're connected now. Not just by touch, by memory, by energy. You're not just human anymore. Jack stood slowly, legs shaking. Then tell me, Lariah, what am I? She looked at him for a long moment, then said, you're becoming the first of something that never existed before. A new silence filled the cave, heavy, strange, almost holy. Then another boom closer. A voice outside shouted, search this sector. Lariah grabbed his hand. Follow me. I know a way out, but it's risky. Jack didn't ask questions. He followed her into a narrow tunnel at the back of the cave. The walls pulsed faintly with strange symbols. Alien script. What is this place? He asked. She looked back. My people built it, long ago, to hide from themselves. The tunnel opened into an underground chamber. Smooth silver walls, a circle of light in the center. Strange machines. Jack stared. This is alien tech. Lariah nodded. It's a transport pod. Old, unstable, but it may take us far enough. He stepped closer to the pod. Suddenly, he saw his reflection on the silver surface. His eyes were not fully human anymore. They glowed faint blue. Lariah noticed. You're almost ready, she said. For what? She stepped into the pod. To leave Earth. Jack stared at her. Leave Earth. He turned, hearing voices outside again, yelling. Orders, running, footsteps. He had a choice, stand, be hunted, or leave and become something unknown. He stepped into the pod. Lariah looked at him, her voice soft but clear. Do you trust me, Jack? He looked at her. At the girl from the stars. At the creature who once whispered, let me feel your skin. And now she was holding out her hand, not to take but to share. He reached out. I don't know what I'm becoming, he said. She smiled. But I think I want to become it with you. Jack wasn't sure if the stars outside the pod were moving, or if it was just him. He sat on the cold metal floor, breathing slowly, feeling the strange pulse in his chest, not his heartbeat, something deeper. Older Lariah sat across from him, legs crossed, eyes closed, hands resting on her knees. Her silver skin glowed in the low blue light of the pod. She looked peaceful. To peaceful. The silence between them was loud. Jack finally spoke. We're not on Earth anymore, are we? Lariah opened her eyes slowly. No. We crossed the edge of your world 37 minutes ago. Jack stood up and looked out the pod window. The Earth was now just a glowing sphere behind them, shrinking fast. I didn't even get to say goodbye, he whispered. You said yes, Lariah replied gently. That was enough. Jack turned to her. So what now? She didn't answer right away. Instead, she stood, walked to the center of the pod, and touched a glowing ring on the floor. The room dimmed and strange symbols lit up on the walls. Jack recognized none of it. What is this? Lariah looked at him. Her expression was calm, but her voice had weight. This is the bonding chamber. Jack frowned. Bonding. Lariah nodded. You're changing faster now. The connection between us must be completed, or you will break apart. Break, Jack echoed. As in, die. She stepped closer. No, as in lose yourself. You'll be caught between human and alien, a mind with no anchor, a heart with no name. Jack swallowed hard. And the bonding fixes that. She nodded. It gives you a shape, a soul, a purpose. Jack laughed softly, nervously. Sounds romantic. Lariah tilted her head. It's not about love. It's about survival. But yes, it can feel like love. He stared at her, heart racing. What do I have to do? Lariah raised her hands. A silver glow surrounded her fingers. You have to let go of fear, of doubt, of everything you knew before. I don't know if I can. She stepped even closer. Then let me help. Jack didn't move. He didn't speak. And then, gently, her hands touched his face. The moment her skin met his, the pod vanished. Not really, but it felt that way. Jack stood in a field of stars. The stars moved with his breath. Each one was a memory, his first bike, his mother's smile, the fear in his chest the day his father never came home. Lariah stood in the middle of it all, glowing, silent. He saw her memories, two cold cities of silver towers, endless classrooms, emotionless eyes watching her grow, loneliness deeper than space itself. Then, a forest a human. Him. You see now, Lariah whispered inside his mind, we are not the same, but we need each other. Jack's hands began to glow. His skin shimmered. His heart slowed. Who am I becoming? He asked. You are still Jack, she said. But now you are mine. The stars began to spin. A soft wind blew. Not real wind, memory wind. Soul wind. The bond had begun. Jack felt his bones shift. His blood heat. His thoughts widen. He saw more colors. Heard more silence. Felt emotions he didn't have words for. Then a sharp pulse. He opened his eyes. Back in the pod on the floor, breathing hard. Lariah was in front of him, her body shining with soft light. Her eyes looked different, like something had awakened in her too. It is done, she said. Jack looked at his hands. His veins glowed faint silver now. His voice trembled. I feel everything, she smiled. That means you survived. Then her smile faded. But there is more. Jack stood slowly. More. She walked to a screen. It showed a large ship, black, sharp, fast moving toward them. My people found us, she said. They know we bonded. What will they do? She looked at him. Not with fear, with fire. They'll try to erase us because what we are is forbidden. Jack clenched his fists. They'll have to go through me. First, there was no sky, just black space, and a ship that swallowed starlight. Jack stood at the window of the pod, staring at the dark vessel approaching. It wasn't just large, it felt alive, like a shadow with eyes, like a god coming to judge. Beside him, Lariah's glow flickered. They're here, she said. The elders of Aurelis, the ones who made me, the ones who will try to unmake us. Jack didn't look away from the ship. I'm not afraid anymore. You should be, I said. They don't kill the body, they erase the soul. Jack turned to her. But I'm not just soul anymore, he said. I'm something else now, something they don't understand. Lariah nodded. And that's what makes you dangerous. The pod shook gently as the larger ship pulled them in like a fish caught in silence. The walls breathed. Silver veins pulsed in the metal. The air was clean but sharp, like it cut the inside of Jack's nose. Tall beings surrounded them, smooth-skinned, faceless, emotionless. No mouths, no eyes, no voices. Only one figure stood forward, taller than the rest. Its skin shimmered gold, and a deep hum echoed from its chest. Lariah stepped forward. I am Lariah. I left to understand. I returned with choice. The golden figure replied, but not with words. You have violated design. You have merged with chaos. The human must be deleted. Jack stepped forward now. I'm not just human, he said, his voice steady. And she's not just yours. A bright light scanned his body. The ship reacted. Panels blinked red. The bond is complete. He cannot be unmade without destroying her. Jack and Lariah exchanged a look. She spoke again. You can't erase us. We're proof that feeling is power, that evolution needs more than obedience. The golden figure stood silent. Then it said something colder. Then you will be exiled. Banned from Aurelis. Banned from Earth. You will have no trad place. Jack took a breath. That's fine. Lariah tilted her head. We'll make our own place. The walls of the ship began to shift. The beings stepped back. Even they weren't sure what Jack had become, because now, his skin wasn't just glowing, it was singing. A soft hum vibrated from him. His heartbeat sounded like music. He was part human, part something else. Something the Aurelian order could not control. Something free. The ship shook again, but this time not in warning, in fear. Lariah nodded gladly. The small pod floated again in space, Earth and Aurelis both behind them. Jack looked out at the stars. So, now what? Lariah smiled. Now we build. Build what? A new world. One where touch is not sin, where emotion is not weakness, where a soft heart is not erased. Jack smiled too. Sounds. Impossible. She looked at him. So was this. He laughed. I miss coffee already. She raised an eyebrow. I still don't understand why you drink bitter bean juice. You don't have to, he said. You just have to try it one day. Deal, she said. They sat together in the silence of space, two beings that were never meant to meet. Now, one. Somewhere in deep space, another ship wakes up. It scans the stars, detects a new energy, a new species. Human Aurelian hybrid, first of its kind, not registered, not allowed. It sends a message to its creators. But by the time it finishes, Jack and Lariah are already gone into the stars, into legend.